Okay. You guys fucking ready? Who's ready for this? Can we get some W's in the chat really quick? Some W's in the chat really quick before I start this? Let's fucking go. Alright, guys. I have spent a good amount of time backtesting this. Why? Because I was sick and tired of not having a perfect entry setup. And I think this is the definition of like sheer fucking perfection. And hopefully it lasts a long time because it works so well and you bottom tick these levels, guys. So it is not an ICT concept. However, it has been popularized by ICT. This is an old Wyckoff method of in terms of finding potential reversal points. And we all know I'm a scalper, right? So for those who don't know, Sasheen Trades, co-founder of Traderlink. Let's get right into it. So step number one is basically, let's get a text box here. Step one. Where is that? Okay. Step one. Step one. ABS DGEX bias. Right? Bullish or bearish? Question mark. And in today's case, we are bullish as fuck. Why? Because ABS DGEX, or absolute de-adjusted gamma, is 5,200. So what? We are bullish bias, meaning we are looking for longs. Right? Does that make sense, guys? So after looking for longs, or having our bias, the next step is going to be the entry setup. Step two. It is called SMT. Who knows what SMT is? And it is simple as that. It is 2 steps. That is it. It happened today. It happened twice today. So we are bullish bias. So what are we looking for? We are only looking for longs, right? So let's get into the setup from today. We have ES on the right and NQ on the left, right? ABS DGEX today. Let me have it in here. Today is 5,200. Okay, why is this? Today, 5,200, right? Meaning we are bullish. Boom. Right? Now, what is SMT? Basically, a relative divergence of indices, meaning highs / lows get swept on one indice only and not the other. So, let's get right into it, right? First one. And this happened yesterday, and I'll show you guys the one from yesterday because it was gross. Okay, we have this low, right? Pay attention to the time frame. The time is going to be the most important. Time of the low, right? Notice the red level lines up, correct? Does that make sense? And even if we were to put this low here, right, it still lines up right here. The red line lines up with the low. So guess what happened? NQ right here swept that low. What did ES do? ES did not sweep that low, right? Right around this area. So what do? You long it. You long the one that didn't sweep the low. Okay? Does that make sense? You long the one that did not sweep the low, and then you take profit at highs. Right? You take profit at the highs. This is going to be your PT1. This one's going to be your PT2. I don't care if we're not hitting 5,200 on ABS DGEX, right? We're scalping this. I made a strategy to fit my setup, to fit my style, because I suck at holding, right? So that is the setup. And look, we hit that within a couple of minutes. And your low or your stop is going to be 1 tick below the low. So you get the ultimate risk to reward. So you risk 2 points here to capture 14. Crazy, right? Now, what was the next setup that I sent? Right? We are still long, correct? We are still long right now, long bias. The next setup was right here. ES swept that low. Go to the exact same time on NQ. NQ didn't sweep that low. Guess what? You long now. When ES swept that low, you go long immediately on NQ, right? And boom, one tick below the low. Your price target is going to be right here. Your price target is going to be right here, right? However, SMT happens on both sides. So when I sent that trade in, I said plus 30. So I took profit right around here. Why? Because ES swept this high. So it's very interchangeable. This high was at 724. Go to 724. ES swept it, NQ didn't, right? ES swept it at 733. 733, NQ dropped, right? We didn't push up to that high. So I took the position off. Only at one lot. I'm just taking it off, right? Yeah, we could have gone higher, but besides the point, we're here to capture the scalp, right? So right here, boom. You risked 13 points for 32.5 points. Every single trade setup that this comes with, or every single time this setup shows, it is a minimum of like 2.5R or 2R to like 5R. Right? Once again, we are not taking this bearish one. Why? Because we are long buys. I don't care where else it goes. Until we get to 5,200, maybe I'll look for shorts. So once again, right? The other step is, are we above or below ABS DGEX? Why? Because ABS DGEX will act like a fucking magnet. So we are going to utilize that as our bias. Have you ever traded ICT and not known how to get the bias? And guess what? You now have a method to get a bias. ABS DGEX on the dashboard. Right? And look, this trade still would have panned out. So the other setup is if ES takes that high, so let's clear all the drawings here, right? And then go back to just showing this setup. Since ES took that high right here, right, at 724, what happens next? You can either close your position on NQ or just move your stop on your trade from the low to break even, right? Because if you're still targeting higher, because look, I mean, it played out, right? It played out. You would have gotten your trims. Right? So it's not that it doesn't work, or it's that you're closing early. It's that you have to understand that SMT happens all over the chart, and it happens all the time. Right? So that is right now currently my one setup for life. If I see any sort of SMT, especially for bullish bias today, I'm taking longs all day fucking long. I will scalp the shit out of the longs. We're good? That's really it. What about we bouncing between two apps? Then you don't trade. There is no trade. You only take this setup if the absolute DGEX has a true one-sided bias. And as of right now, we do have that. Right? So I don't give a shit where else it goes. If we dip, I'm looking for longs so long as 5,200 stays. And I will bite the bullet for the loss. Why? Because the R to R is so damn good every single time. It doesn't matter. But you want to see something crazy. That drop yesterday. Why did Geo take the short? Oh. I wonder why Geo took the short. We were above. ABS DGEX was at 5250. Right, guys? 5250. You guys remember that? I sure shit remember that. I was hesitant on it. But look. Look what happened. Look what fucking happened. ES took the high from right here. Did NQ? Nope. So why did you take the short? Somebody tell me. ABS DGEX was the bias and the magnet. We'll send it back down. Your profit targets are, guess what, going to be some bounce, some small bounce levels like this, right here, right here. So tell me that was not, like, this shit works. Yeah, I don't think any of us expected a drop this big, but you still would have gotten a good amount of points. right? Same shit is happening all day today. You want to see something even crazier? Or not even, or just as crazy? Look at this. Let's remove drawings here. Look at this low. Oh, look at that low. Even if you were to take this low, right? Look what happened here. NQ swept that low. ES didn't sweep that low. And look what happened. And that was on a data drop. Boom. Boom. You telling me that it doesn't work? No, it fucking works, guys. I'm giving you my one setup that I will take every single time. All right, questions? If there are no questions, I'm going to close out this. I just wanted to hop on before and show you guys before.